Hi, you guys. I'm intrigued, but there's a Japanese technique called kintsugi, which is the repair of something that's broken, like a piece of pottery. And you repair it with a gold infused glue. And so the cracks become the artwork. And I love that idea. And the other, that's it, it's Japanese. The other Japanese term I find fascinating is wabi-sabi, which I believe means like something that's a bit imperfect. Like the kintsugi adds to the aesthetic. You know, it's not considered a mistake if something's a little you know, unsymmetrical or a little misshapen. And I just love the idea of celebrating that. I think there's something of, you know, our lives become artwork as we kind of work with our imperfections and accept them and see the beauty in them. So that's the jumping off point. I had a couple more things, but let's go with wabi-sabi, kintsugi. And can we accept that? Queen of Wands. You know, extremely artistic energy here. Somebody who just accepts themselves, would certainly accept their imperfections, but has great pride and self-assurance. It's a fire sign. It's the energy of a fire sign. Doesn't have to be a Aries, Leo, Sag. Okay. Okay, this involves either a speedy movement or a message coming in fast, you know, usually not, usually spoken or texted or something like that. It's sword energy, which is about speech, communication, etc. Judgment. A card of kind of, well, it's a major arcana card of rebirth. And you can see this person's ethereal body arising up. In traditional Rider-Waite, it shows people coming out of their coffins in a resurrection. It can be a second chance, but it's really a glorification here. I mean, this sort of ghostly figure rising up is in a state of ecstasy. And to me, the one, you know, the more 3D individual down below is in a position of release. Six of Pentacles. Very different energy. This is earth-related. It represents, in this case, an exchange, an equal exchange, in the sense of it's reciprocal, it's back and forth. It doesn't mean like totally even Steven, but something of value is passing between two individuals. And there's this infinity loop. I think what that means is it's not static. It can be to do with money, not necessarily, but it's some kind of energetic currency. And again, a card of communication, of flow, of back and forth. It can be conversation, could be travel, could be just inspirations coming in, you know, meeting at some kind of common point. All these different fire energies contributing to one ignition, it comes under Queen of Wands. You know, she has the wand and she has the energy from the wand landing in her hand as an illumination, a light. She also has the black cat. In most depictions of Queen of Wands, there's that, the black cat, the familiar. She's not out in search of anything. She, you know, sits in place and her energy attracts other things to her, him, there. Death card. Death and rebirth. Major Arcana card of Scorpio, a water sign. It's to do with renewed emotional energy, second chances, resurrection, renewal, reconciliation. A lot of those words. You know, another look at something based on your ability both to receive and release. Six of Wands, more fire energy. This can be a victory, and in that sense, a kind of a reconciliation, stepping into the light, allowing yourself to be seen. It's right underneath Six of Pentacles. And Lovers. Card of Gemini, a card of the twins. This kind of reciprocity, equal exchange. Oh boy. Okay, let's find out a little bit more about the message. I'm just going to double check something. Yeah, okay. Forgive me, I sometimes blank on this special kind of numerology I picked up from another reader called Emery's Tarot. And when you get two cards of the same amount, 6 and 6, you add them together, they're 12. 12 in Major Arcana is Hangman. Like Death, a water sign. To do with feelings, love, connection, acceptance, transformation. So let's ask about this message. 8 of Wands, Knight of Swords. Queen of Wands is very intuitive. She could be sending or receiving, likely receiving, since she's the queen, the receptive energy, male or female, receiving a message, perhaps from an air sign. It's you know, it's important not only in the way it changes everyday life. It does do that. It's an exchange that changes things in Pentacles terms, you know, to do with how we live our lives, timing, investment. More about the message, which might be telepathic, coming into this Queen of Swords. And then she might be saying something. Or she might be intuiting a message that's going to come in from somebody else. 3 of Wands. Again, fire energy. This is a card of the future, of looking to the future, of intuiting the future, of anticipating, you know, there's an expectation that this thing will come in. Queen of Wands could definitely do that. She wouldn't wait with any kind of anxiety. You know, it's kind of a reasonable expectation. She may have put out a request and is waiting for the answer. But in terms of fire energy, of some kind of, she has intuition that this is going to come in. Okay, 10 of Wands. This is very much about fire, about inspiration. We don't have major arcana cards of fire. They're all minor arcana. This is closing out a cycle and moving on from something in your everyday life. And I think there's an expectation, once that cycle is closed out, it will open the door for this future energy. 3 of Wands speaks to the future. 10 of Wands. Boy, we're getting a lot of repeats from yesterday. I mean, I shuffled these cards a lot. Ace of Swords. This can be like the answer coming in to the question that you've sent out, or somebody has. It's an idea, it's an epiphany. You know, it has to do with whatever message this character is delivering. And again, a repeat. I mean, this is bizarre. 4 of Wands. Following 3 of Wands. This is a future reunion with somebody. Can be seen as a twin flame card. You know, it's somebody important to, two people important to each other, finally getting the opportunity to come together. But it's in the future. It's anticipating something. And first off, one or both people have to close out a cycle in order to be able to look to the future, to this reunion that they expect and intend to take place. And that may be what the communication is about, because it certainly shows somebody on the move. You know, in a kind of, first I have to get to this vehicle, this motorcycle. I mean, it could be somebody literally coming at you fast. The crossbow, the eagle, and this person hot-footing it. I think they feel they need to beat, you know, to beat the clock, or, you know, and in air energy, we have the card of the twins, Gemini. And to me, 6 of Wands and 4 of Wands are cards of celebration. There's a victory wreath. Something's been resolved. Okay, on Queen of Wands, another repeat. 6 of Swords. I mean, there's something almost about, you know, we've gone round and round and round on this, and there are a lot of cards of advancement and forward movement and speed, but in some ways, we're in the same cycle. It is closing out, and something new will result. A new understanding, a new information to be communicated. I think about this relationship. That's in sword energy too. The Lovers is a choice. They're saying look for the other 6. And here it is in the same sword energy, air energy. 6 of Swords. Moving fast. Coming out of some sort of struggle. You know, victoriously. Something that will reveal something that may have been pent up. Tell us about this energetic exchange, Six of Pentacles. Okay. King of Cups. I mean, this is a popper, you know. It just jumped out. It's the loving, giving individual who feels a great deal and sometimes needs to assume a kind of passive posture in order to absorb the feelings and not be overwhelmed. He looks very happy. I mean, whatever's happening here, we have all these cards of emotion. Actually, this is the first one out. But that implicit hangman, 6 and 6 is 12, is a card of processing emotion. And that's what this guy appears to be doing, male or female, which dovetails nicely with lovers. I think he's receiving a message, you know, here's the water energy, about death and rebirth. You know, this is the end. Something's over, somebody's moving on and looking toward the future. And they're receiving some kind of message, you know, straight into their brain. It's not like somebody's talking to them this way. They're just getting the word and then kind of passing it on. They have something to say. And I asked about, what is this message coming in? It may be like an appointed time and place. It's not right now, it's in the future, but it involves a second chance judgment about a very important reciprocal relationship. And it translates into something here and now, in this life, in this time. The archetype of lovers is entering the world of time and space. Some kind of distance is being closed, some kind of, you know, this person's very anxious too, and there is a bit of anxiety here in the sense of like, I gotta get to it. One of the things I'd written down is strike while the iron is hot, and burst of energy, and that would be this. Like, I gotta get there in time. And this individual, who could be a Gemini, air energy, has been inspired by some kind of almost telepathic message from the other person. You know, and she'd be, I was going to say receiving it or sending it or both, because it's in two directions, 8 of Wands. There's a conversation to be had. Something major has been transformed. It's a new life energy. And nothing little. You know, it's a major arcana card. It's a shift in the psyche. A big shift. And it leads toward reunion. But with all this fast energy, Knight of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, Earth energy, slow, steady progress, step by step, one day at a time. So this urgency is met with Pentacles energy. I think it means sustained exchange. You know, it's not like, you do this, I'll do that, you do this, you know, and then we're done. This is something with this infinity symbol And Pentacles, you know, when it comes into real life, I mean, you might talk about it, you might deliver a message, you might receive a message. Receive it, Queen of Wands. And it has the results are to speed things up. Somebody may be traveling towards you. I think Queen of Wands is you. But at the same time, when it comes into 3D, you know, 3D doesn't go that fast. You know, manifestations even aren't usually boom. Sometimes there's a little bit of that in this, but it takes time to act it out, to actually take the steps to make something real, to realize something. I mean, somebody's been hung up in sword energy. This has to do, I think, with somebody not trusting themselves. You know, they're caught up in some belief system that like is disassociative. You know, here I am, kind of in the flesh, and here's my reflection. And in the reflection, I'm bound and blindfolded. So no wonder it's taking a long time to kind of reverse, I'm thinking reverse engineer. That sounds strange to me, but perhaps communication and understanding was really inhibited at some point. And maybe somebody was insecure. The messenger birds here are trying to undo the knots, free this person. And I think in some way, it's almost like somebody spiraled in on themselves. But that cycle is ending. Okay, tell us a bit more about this second chance, the Judgment card. Is this the right deck? Yeah. There was a struggle to make a choice, to make a decision. There may have been other people involved who had other ideas about where this should go. Wands are directional. So there was this kind of, you know, almost like an energetic traffic jam. It's also a card of working something out. You know, how do we resolve this conflict with everybody vying for their idea about what should happen? Wands are action taking. You know, in this situation, really nobody's getting anywhere. But they're trying to work it out. Might be an internal struggle. Might be a struggle between these two. I think it's a past struggle. But something was getting weighed up and considered. And I think the choice didn't come easily. The choice to move forward in 3D toward this common, you know, 5 of Wands, the struggle for a common direction. 4 of Wands, you know, an accord about where we're going and what we're doing, direction and action. And the action here is to meet up and celebrate. It's been slow going. It's taken a long time because I think there was something that the communication, there were blockages. But something on the emotional level, in terms of love and connection, deep feelings, has undergone this major transformation. It's not been easy. On the 3D level, I think the intention was pretty clear, but on the 3D level, something had to be worked out that had to do with a choice. Lovers also means a choice. It strikes me that somebody was having a hard time deciding, how to get through this block. And, there was a choice about which one, because they're both of value, do I make real? King of Cups is following his heart. He, she, their heart. His, her, their heart. There's been a deep emotional transformation and a willingness to just sit with it. Another meaning of hangman, it's a non-action. Can you tell us about the Judgment card, the second chance, the resurrection, the reunion, which is here on the board, 4 of Wands. Oh boy, we got a whole bunch. This whole thing? Yeah. Okay, first off, on this choice and the struggle to make the choice. Knight of Wands. That's our third knight. Knights are messengers. There may have been a lot of messages going back and forth. Some fast, some slow, some impulsive and spontaneous. Some, texty energy here. Also kind of telepathic exchange, 8 of Wands. Somebody's bursting through the impediment of 5 of Wands. And it's almost like, there's this kind of communication, which is a bit more cerebral, and this kind of communication, which is almost like, I'll beat my drum and you'll hear it. It'll be in your blood. That's what I'm hearing. It'll get into your blood. You'll hear me and you'll come to this meeting. I'm calling you in. And because somehow you've been insecure or hung up or even to the point of feeling like out-of-body experience a little bit, to get back into the body, earth energy, and take the steps to get there, everything's going to slow down. So we do have this fast, slow, move on it. The transformation has happened. And yet there are these blocks and consideration and earth energy in 3D life. Something had to be worked out, and there had to be choices. Okay. Sun card. A card of happiness. revelation. Leo, divine masculine. Action will be taken. And it's going to open the whole thing up. There's I think it's Leonard Cohen says, we're all broken. That's how the light gets in. That's that sort of kintsugi idea of we're broken. In order to mend, we accept our brokenness and we repair it with gold, with light, with warmth, with enthusiasm. I think divine masculine has indeed, I mean, we get this again and again, and I don't mean to keep putting it on the divine masculine, but that's what tarot says. Undergone a major transformation. And it doesn't mean the man, it means, you know, somebody in accord like this with the other person. Whatever action has been taken is victorious. There's the victory wreath. There's the microphone. It's gotten through, loud and clear. And I think it's enabled this forward movement. Perhaps a literal move. Somebody is really raring to go. Having burst through this Five of Wands impediment, they're on their way toward this reunion, this reconciliation. It's new life. It's a new way of thinking about it. It's some information that will come in once the cycle has been closed out. And there's Hangman. We saw it before in these 2 6s, Major Arcana card of 12. It's an enlightenment based on feelings. And that's clarifying the death and rebirth card. Also a water energy. The feelings are transformed. You know, a cycle has been closed out, the new thing is coming in, because we've considered what we feel and what we're going to do about it. What we feel. What we're going to do about it. Somebody wants, you know, the back and forth equal exchange. It's not lopsided anymore. 2 of Pentacles, also a card of balance in Pentacles energy. I think balance has been achieved, and, you know, this is a card of happiness. Somebody has to leave something behind. Somebody has to leave something behind. Make a choice. You know, there's some kind of future that can be reached once you break through the struggle, or divine masculine does, because this is all in Wands energy. And Queen of Wands, you know, she'll be ready to receive. If somebody's on the move toward her, sword energy, she's certainly open to the conversation. And she's open telepathically too, because she's the mystic of the tarot. Here's her familiar, you know. Wands are also about manifestation. It's almost like she's calling this person in. And they're coming. And they're leaving something behind that they were, perhaps that they loved. That could well be the source of this conflict. But the choice has been made to move forward, you know, in a balanced way, Two of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, Lovers. These guys balance each other. Yin yang, male, female, active, receptive. So let's just find out, what is this person leaving behind? They're moving toward their happiness. See, you've got the sun here. They're taking the action to move toward their happiness. To close out a cycle and move toward their happiness. And it might be, it's fairly quick. You know, somebody's waiting. And I think that's Queen of Wands. You know, only waiting in the sense of like, with self-assurance. I've called you in. I've put it out there. You're coming in. I can feel it. I know it. Ace of Swords. I know it. And I think too, whoever's leaving, closing out the cycle and coming in, it's because they know they've received the message too. In this energetic exchange, Eight of Wands. On Judgment, Page of Cups. I love that. It's, this is young love. These are the first stages of love. And see the rising up in both cards. The card of new life and reunion, new love, and the rising up of an emotion, of a feeling. Okay, and there's one more. Yeah. Seven of Cups. So we have Seven of Cups, Eight of Cups. It may have taken some time for King of Cups to consider like the ramifications of this choice. I think there are some people who will not be down with this, who may actually throw up obstacles. And yet, Knight of Wands bursts through. But whatever the Divine Masculine is leaving behind was something he cared about. It was not an easy decision. He had internal struggle as well as whatever this, somebody butting in, maybe a group of people. But he's going for his happiness. He, she, they. That's the action being taken. There is this period of consideration of weighing things up. What are my options? What are the ramifications of this choice? Again, it might be something in Leo time, but moving toward happiness, toward a higher love. And there's this, from the King to the Page, the willingness to start, perhaps with an apology or just a small offer that's backed up by, they're both having heart activation here. And again, I'm getting this sort of, the beat of the blood, the pulse, the Wands are about life force and excitement and inspiration. They get you going. They get you going. Somebody's on the move. They're going to want to talk. You know, they've made a decision. It took a while. And they were sort of bedeviled by insecurities. 8 of Swords. Eight of Cups. You know, they got free. They got free. 8 and 8 is 16. 16 is Tower. I mean, as I say, it wasn't easy. They had to bust through obstacles. But Tower is a card of release. Of release. New life and expanded life. Also a card of decision. Life-changing decision here. And then comes the exaltation. Strike while the iron is hot. That's a bit like this. While it's hot. That's when it's malleable. That's when these things can be worked out. Like you can't get there just by kind of thinking your way there. There's actually some degree of decision-making. Bursting through. Somebody's going to strike while the iron is hot. I don't know. Somebody's been waiting a long time. I think the wait is nearly over. 3 of Wands. 3 days? 3 weeks? Maybe 3 months? That would bring us into Leo time, almost. On the board we have Judgment, Hangman is Pisces, Death card is Scorpio, Death and Rebirth. Rebirth, right? Gemini in Lovers. This is important, this one here. That's choosing each other. That's somebody who's willing to receive. This person who might have been a long time trying to get there and sort out their emotions. If they're leaving something behind that they really cared about, that's not a split-second decision. Once the decision is made, after weighing things up, we're out of the gate. We're galloping. We're on the move. On the move. I'm sort of, going in a cycle here. The cycle has been broken. The thing has been renewed. New life, new love. Amen. See you next time. Oh, and I wanted to thank those of you who have contributed either by being here, watching, putting your energy in, because you do that. I mean, you're part of this. You're kicking in your energy. We have some new subscribers. Yay! I love you guys. I'll see you next time.